Hello everyone, I am Priyanka Rajaram from Vidyashram PU College, Temple of Excellence. Today we are going to learn about the close packed structures in solids. Now, what is this close packed structures? In solids, we know that the constituent particles are arranged very close to one another. They attain maximum density and also stability because of this arrangement. Now, for our convenience, we are going to consider these particles, that is, it can be atom, molecules or ions, these constituent particles as identical hard spheres. Now, these spheres or these particles, they build up in 3 dimensions to give us the entire crystal lattice. To learn this or to make the process of learning easy, we are going to study this in 3 steps. Okay, so we are going to study the entire close packed structure in 3 steps. So the first step is close packing in 1 dimension. In 1 dimension, how these particles can be arranged. Here you can see in 1 dimension they can be arranged close to one another in a single row. Correct? They can be arranged close to one another, touching one another in a single row. Okay? So this type of packing we call it as packing in 1 dimension, just 1 dimension, only a 1 axis. Okay? Now, if you also observe here, one particle is touching another particle. Now, I want you all to know a new term called as coordination number. What do you mean by coordination number? The nearest neighbors of a particle is called as the coordination number. Now, if I consider this is the particle, any particle I can take, this one particle I shall consider. How many neighbors does this particle have? 1, 2. So, the coordination number in close packing in 1 dimension is 2. Why? Every particle has 2 neighbors. If I consider this particle, 2 neighbors, this particle, 2 neighbors, except the edge, because we are learning in 1 dimension, is taking something from between. Okay. Now, this is close packing in 1 dimension. To understand this better, you can see this. They are arranged in 1 dimension, okay, next to one another. Each particle has 2 neighbors. So, the coordination number is 2. Next, we learn close packing in 2 dimension. Now, what do you mean by close packing in 2 dimension? It is in 2 axis. Okay. So, close packing in 2 dimension are of 2 types. Square close packing, hexagonal close packing. Now, we learnt the 1 dimensional packing, that is, the particles are arranged in a single row. So, such 1 dimensional spheres we are taking to build the 2 dimensional packing. Okay. Now, here you can see, if I take the 1 dimensional packed structures and stack them one over the other, exactly above, see, one particle is above another particle. Okay, every particle is exactly above another particle. So, this is my 1 row. So, I will name that as A. Okay, this is my second row. Okay, second 1 dimensional row, that also is identical. So, that also I will name it as A. Because they are identical, I am naming it as A. So, when they are stacked one over the other, okay. Now, if you see this particular particle I will consider. Okay, this particular particle I will consider. How many neighbors it has got? 1, 2, 3 and 4. Correct? Now, so the coordination number is 4, because how many neighbors it has got? 4 neighbors it has got. So, if I take any particle here, for example, this particle if I take, they also have got 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the particles which are touching these particles. I cannot consider this because that is not touching the particle which I am taking here or counting the coordination number for. Okay, the particle which are touching one another, just closest neighbors only we can consider. Okay. So, now if the centers of these particles, of the coordination particles, if I take and if I join them, I am going to get a square. That's why we are naming them as square close packing. Okay, that's why the name square close packing. One more thing you observe here, they are stacked one over the other, they are exactly over the other. Particles are just above one another. Am I clear? And now you can also observe there are vacant space here. Here you can see, here also there is a space, correct? These are all vacant spaces which you can see. They are called as void. What is it? The new term again, void. Anywhere there is a vacant space, okay, then we call that as void. Void can be of different kind. This is a square void, okay, this is a square void. Here if you see, it is a triangular void, okay. So there are different types of voids which I will be explaining in the further class, okay. So that is about the square close packing. Coming to hexagonal close packing. Here if you see, this is my one-dimensional sphere, one row we have taken. Now in the second row of one-dimensional spheres, when I keep it or stack it, it is stacked in such a way that the particles of the second row fall into the grooves which is there of the first row. This is the groove of the first row, correct? This is the groove which is there from the first row. That is the depression or the groove which you can see. The second row particles are placed in that groove or that depression which is made. Now the next layer, when I keep, groove of this particular row, it is placed. Similarly, one more, it is placed in the depression or the grooves. Here you can also observe one thing. First row I call, or first layer I call them as A. The second one I am calling it as B. Why am I calling it as B? Because it is not identical to the first one. I cannot see the particle just above it. It is, the two particles are in between this particle, or I can tell one particle of the row A is in between the two particles of row B, okay, or vice versa. Anyhow I can tell that. Now that's the reason we call this as row B. Whereas the third row when I keep, okay, the third row when it is kept, you can see that it is identical to A. See, this particle is just above this, correct? No, it is identical. So again we are naming this as A, okay, and this, the fourth row when I keep, that becomes identical with the B one. That's why we are naming it as AB pattern. What is it? AB pattern. To understand this better, I will again show you all. For square close packing, you see, I have one layer of one dimension, okay, then the second layer is coming of one dimension, then the third, then the fourth. One particle is in the center. How many particle nearest neighbors it has got? 4. So the coordination number is 4. I hope you all have understood this particular packing. What is it called as? Square closed packing. Correct? Next, hexagonal closed packing. I told you all, it is placed in the grooves or the depression of the first row. You can see this is the first row, and then it is there in the depression, and the coordination number is 6. Okay, you can observe it again. This is the particle which is in red, and you can see the yellow ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The coordination number is 6 for hexagonal closed packing. And why is it called as hexagonal closed packing? Why is it called as hexagonal closed packing? You can see here, I shall show you. This is the particle. If I consider, how many neighbors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I join the centers of these 6 particles, which is a structure I am getting? I am getting a hexagon. That's why it is called as hexagonal close packing. Is it clear? I hope you all have understood both square close packing and hexagonal close packing. Next we have coordination number. I already explained you all what is coordination number. It is the number of nearest neighbors of a particle. How many neighbors a particle has got? That number is called as the coordination number. In one dimension, coordination number was 2. In square close packing, that is in 2D, 2-dimensional, the coordination number was 4. In hexagonal close packing in 2 dimension, the coordination number was 6. Okay, so that is coordination number. This is one of the questions which can be asked for 1 or 2 marks. Next we have square close packing in 3 dimension. Now to understand this square close packing in 3 dimension, what you need to understand is, see, in 2 dimension I have 2 types. One is square close packing, one is hexagonal close packing. Now I am taking every layer, one square close packing what I have learned, that is my one layer. Okay, now such layers, when it is stacked one over the other, I get the 3-dimensional structures. Now the first one is when I am taking the square close packed layers. Okay, you can see this is first layer, then the second, third, it is stacked one over the other. I got it in x-axis, y-axis. When I kept one over the other, I got also the 3-dimensional, and they are all identical to one another. That's why we are all naming it as A. Correct? No, they are all identical to one another. That is, they just kept one above the other. The particle one above the other. The void is also one above the other. Okay. So such packing, if you see, they are giving rise to unit cell, that is primitive cubic unit cell. Such arrangement in 3 dimension, if I take a square close packed 2-dimensional layer and stack it one above the other such that one particle is just above the other particle, okay, it will give rise to primitive cubic unit cell, and such pattern it is called as AAA type of pattern, because it is kept one above the other. All are identical to one another. Every layer is identical to one another. That's why we call it as AAA type of pattern. So this is very simple to understand. Close packing in 3 dimension. This is the first type. The second type, when we come, we are using only hexagonal closed packed structure. That is, you can observe here, hexagonal closed packed structures, that is with the 2D what we have seen, one layer. Here you have taken 1-dimensional row. Okay, first row, the second row is placed in the grooves of the first row. So that pattern gives rise to hexagonal close packing. Such layers, it can be stacked one above the other in 2 different ways. Okay, now which are the 2 different ways? So first we are learning one layer over the other layer. Okay, so first layer and the second layer. So in that, it gives rise to 2 types of voids also. Okay, so we learn this in detail. Now you can see here, this is my hexagonal. For example, I'll just show you with the small diagram if this is not very clear to you all. So I've taken, this is my one layer, 1 dimension. The second dimension, when I do, I will put it in the grooves of the second layer. Okay, so it is placed in the grooves like this. I'll just show you 2 more particles. Okay, here it's not identical. Now these are the triangular voids which was formed. Correct? These are the triangular voids which were formed. This is, for example, my one layer. Okay, this is my one layer. This layer I call it as A. Okay, now I'll take the second layer now. Okay, same hexagonal close packed, second layer I am taking. Now I am placing this over the triangular voids. This is my first row. Okay, and this is my second row. Okay, now when triangular void, okay, I had a triangular void, above that one particle was kept, it gives rise to tetrahedral voids, which is named as T here. I see one row full, I got tetrahedral voids. I got a tetrahedral void. I hope you all have understood till here. Next, you see here one more pattern. Now I have, in red I have 3 particles. Okay, I have 3 particles, and in green I have another 3 particles, and in between here there is a void which is formed. You can see here also there is a void. Here there is a void. and here also there is a void. Such voids we call it as octahedral voids, in which I can draw it again and show it to you all. I have 1, 2 and 3 particles of one layer, okay, and I have 1, 2 and 3 particles of the second layer. Now the space which is there here, this you can see, it's not very clear, the void or that vacant space what you can see, this is called as octahedral voids. We represent that as O. Now if you see the first layer, when it is kept on the second layer, what do I get? I get tetrahedral voids, octahedral voids, tetrahedral voids. Again here also there is a tetrahedral void, again octahedral void, tetrahedral void. So you are getting different types of voids here, okay, when one layer is kept over the other layer. And also the one layer depressions where they are there, on those depressions you are keeping the second layer. That time you will get such 2 types of voids, which are tetrahedral voids and the octahedral voids, okay. I hope you have understood till here. This is in 3 dimension. I am taking only 2 layers now, okay, that is first layer over the second layer, in which I can get 2 types of voids. You can understand it better here. Again I shall explain. You can see these are triangle voids. Above that one more layer was kept. Here I got B, what is written, they are the tetrahedral voids, okay. A, B layer we call them as, because they are not aligned with one another, and O, what is written, they are the octahedral voids. You can actually pause this, look carefully, you will understand it better, okay. Next we have the voids, okay. I have already explained it to you all. So once again, triangular void, they have a triangular shape. We got that when in 2-dimensional structure we got, okay, in 2-dimensional hexagonal close packing 2-dimensional structure I got triangular voids. What are tetrahedral voids? You can see here I have 3 particles below, above that 1 particle is kept, I get a tetrahedron there, okay, in between that space we get a tetrahedron, then we call it as tetrahedral voids, okay. The third one is the octahedral voids. When the 3 particles, I explained it to you all with the diagram. Now you can see when the particle centers are joined, we get an octahedron. That's why we call it as a octahedron void. You can see there's a hole which is shown in yellow in between, okay. So you have 6 particles which are there, 3 triangular shape on one side, opposite direction you have another triangular way it is arranged, and between you get a vacant space, that is called as a octahedral void. So these are the 3 types of voids. Now we will see how I explained now what is it in 3 dimension. I explained, I took a hexagonal layer, one layer, I took the second layer. Now we are talking about the third layer. In third layer placement, it can be again of 2 types. Don't get confused. Again I am telling, see I took in 3-dimensional hexagonal layers we have taken, okay, hexagonal close packed layers we are taking. First layer I took, in the grooves of the first layer we placed the second layer. I got 2 types of voids, tetrahedral voids and octahedral voids. Now we are going to learn the placement of the third layer. Now when I place the third layer, again it can be of 2 types, okay. So which are those 2 types, I will explain. Now see, the first one is covering the tetrahedral void. What is it? Covering the tetrahedral void. Now here, first layer we got, I kept the second layer. When I keep the third layer of hexagonal closed packed, it will be aligning with the first one, okay. You can see first layer it is called as A. Second layer is B, which was kept in the grooves of the layer A. Now, the third layer when it is placed, if it is exactly aligning here, you can see here, it is exactly aligning with one another. That means they are one above the other, they align together. Then such arrangement, okay, will give rise to hexagonal closed packed structure, HCP structure we call them as. What is it? It gives rise to hexagonal close packed structure, and such arrangement pattern is ABAB pattern. You can see it is called as ABAB pattern. When will I get this ABAB pattern? That is when we are covering the tetrahedral voids. To understand this better, we will see in the next slide. See, this is my first layer, correct? Here wherever triangles are drawn, there is one more particle which is coming, which gives rise to tetrahedral voids. See, tetrahedral voids, above that you can see here. Again, there is third layer. Over the tetrahedral voids, my third layer is coming. Once again, here I have got the first layer, the second layer, tetrahedral voids. Here also tetrahedral voids are there. Above the tetrahedral void, there is one more particle which is going to come. Okay? Above the tetrahedral voids, it's covering the tetrahedral voids. Then we are going to get HCP. It's okay. What we are going to get? HCP. So the next one we have covering octahedral voids. The last one, this is covering the third layer. When it is coming, it's covering the octahedral voids. You can see here, I shall explain with this diagram. I have my first layer. Over that there is a second layer which is shown in blue. You can see the blue color one. You got these are octahedral voids which is formed. Okay, here this is the octahedral void, this is octahedral void. Okay, the octahedral voids, to cover those octahedral voids, there is one more layer. See, this also is an octahedral void. Okay, here you can get another octahedral void. Okay, so the first layer, above that the second layer, in that you can see the octahedral voids, the space which is there. Above that the third layer which is shown in green. Now if you observe, this is layer A which is shown in yellow, this is layer B, and the third layer is not aligning with A, nor it is aligning with B. The third layer is not aligning with A, nor it is aligning with B. So we name this layer as C. We name this layer as C. So you get ABC pattern. So when the fourth layer is kept, only then the fourth layer and the first layer are aligned with one another. Okay, you can see here, this is the layer A, this is the layer B, this is the layer C. Now if you see, A layer, the fourth layer when I keep, it is aligning with this A layer. So again I name this as A, this will become B. One more layer if you keep, it will become C. This is how you are going to get an FCC unit cell. Okay, you can see here FCC or cubic close packing, CCP unit cell also you can get by covering the octahedral voids. Okay, this pattern is what? ABC type of pattern. To understand this better, you can see the first layer, then you have the second layer will place, you get the tetrahedral voids. Now you see the octahedral holes are there. On that hole you have the third particle coming and seeing. So that is the ABC type of a pattern. Okay, so once again you have first layer, above that the second layer will come to get tetrahedral and octahedral. See, octahedral voids are there, spaces are there. Over that there is one more layer which is going to come. Okay, covering the octahedral voids. So this gives rise to CCP and FCC unit cell. Okay, I hope you have understood. Once again, in one dimension they are kept close to one another. I explained to you all what are coordination number. Then we learnt about the two dimensional, that is in the x-axis length, and the breadth we learned, that is of two types, the square close packing and hexagonal close packing. Now square close packing structures, when it is stacked one above the other, I got a simple primitive unit cell, that is very simple. The next, when we are taking the hexagonal close pack layers, there is again two different types of structures you can get. Okay, second layer is stacked over the first layer, I get tetrahedral and octahedral voids. When the third layer is placed, if the tetrahedral voids are covered, it will give rise to HCP, and if the octahedral voids are covered, it gives rise to FCC or CCP. I hope you have understood what is being taught today. Next class, I shall be dealing with packing efficiency. So stay tuned, stay focused, wherever necessary, pause the video, try to understand this better. Thank you, my dear students.